Alright, we're back again with a short video on Mustchero, specifically the power plant going into Mustchero. Just like on the Dodge, I wanted to set this thing up on the ground so I could test it out to verify that everything works prior to installing it in the car, so I could weed out any problems I might encounter while it's out in the open and easy to reach. Just like on the Dodge setup, we have everything in place to make this engine run. We got our battery and charger. Have a toggle switch to shoot power to the hybrid HEI distributor. We have our automotive relay and starter solenoid there so we can get our juice into the starter. Our fuel system is nothing more than a metal gas can with a hose coming out of the fuel pump going into the can. I will put some gas in the carburetor so we can have a head start on running, so we can start cycling that thing to draw from the can. Since we don't have a radiator, I'm using a bucket with a PVC fitting mounted on the inside and the input hose clamped to the treads of the PVC fitting. Our output line's dumping back into the bucket. I will have the hose running so we could keep replenishing fresh cold water into the bucket as the engine's circulating that water. As for our transmission, we have our yoke in place so we could test the transmission to make sure it's right, as well as keep the oil contained. And our input-output oil lines are linked together since we don't have a radiator or a transcooler to use. But because this thing is not going to be under load or running fast or anything, this transmission should be fine for the short amount of time that it would be running. So already got fluids in here, just need to get the gas in this thing, and we're going to go ahead and see if we could fire this thing off. running. Got a few little leaks here and there, but nothing serious. You can also see our tail shaft is spinning the yoke. Can't put it in park, obviously. It should be first gear right now. Now we're in second gear. The camera's probably not going to let you see this thing spin around, but it is spinning. Now we're in third gear. Our radiator is working here, as we can see. It's hot and it's circulating water through like I intended, and I got the hose running to keep fresh cold water flowing in there so this thing doesn't burn up. Having a weird situation with the transmission here where it seems like it's rotating in the same direction, whether in reverse or in the forward gear. Right now it's in the forward gear. Shouldn't be able to stop that yoke like that, even at idle. Our transmission is doing something weird where our output shaft seems to be rotating in the forward direction, even in reverse. Now, first thing I'm going to do before I go into any drastic measures is adjust the bands on this thing. There's only 2 servos and 2 bands in turn. The intermediate band, which is forward of on the transmission body, has a little adjuster right here, 3/4 inch nut you have to loosen up, and then tighten this little centerpiece to about 10 foot-pounds, or snug it down if you don't have a square socket to go on there, and then back off of that about 1.5 turns, give or take. Or if you're doing it by feel, might just knock it back 1 turn. Our reverse servo right here has the same thing on the right side though, and same thing, 3/4 inch wrench, and tighten that centerpiece down, snug it up, back off 3 turns, or a couple of turns if you're doing it by feel. Tighten everything back up to 40 foot-pounds on the big nut, and you should be good. This thing, however, is a reverse manual valve body, so things work a little bit differently in here, but I'm still going to go ahead and make these adjustments and see if this will help this transmission out, because I really don't feel like tearing into this thing. Kind of sucks. Well, it still seems like our reverse is not functioning, even when I'm in reverse. Neutral, thing is still going. So I'm gonna have to look at these servos, probably end up pulling this whole transmission apart again, which means separation. This sucks. All right, pulled the transmission off. Pulled it completely apart, checked all the clutch packs and the drums and the piston actuators that push on the clutch packs, checked all that stuff, disassembled it, cleaned them out, reassembled everything. One thing I like about C4s, they're pretty simple to work on. But got the transmission back together again, so now go ahead and bolt all this garbage back together, and we're going to try this crap again. Okay, let's start this thing up again. Got everything all set. Try to hold that choke open a little bit. Yeah, she needs a little help. Try to warm up a teeny bit. doing anything, so that's... Well, she's running, warmed up. See if this pile still moves. Going to reverse. It's spinning again. Going to neutral and it's still spinning. But it slowed down some. Put it in the forward gear and it ramps up. Second and third still got motion. Second, one, neutral. Put this thing in the park. After doing some research on different Ford forums, I found that other people had similar concerns about their C4 transmissions spinning forward in all gears, including neutral. Most of the time they could stop the thing from spinning with a light amount of brake pressure to stop the wheels from spinning when the car's on jack stands, or even in my case, holding the yoke down and making it stop like that. But supposedly this is caused by normal internal drag with the clutches and the bands. When there's no external load on the transmission, everything's able to just freely spin around in any gear selection, even neutral. What that means is I'm pretty much going to have to roll the dice and shove this pile into that pile and get everything hooked up, and hopefully everything actually works like it's supposed to on the rest of the drive line. Because, well, our engine's fine. Our engine starts up and runs just fine. Doesn't make a bunch of obnoxious noises that would tell me it's about to grenade itself. So at least I could rest easy on that. But with that all said and done, I'm pretty much gonna end it here, because there's no need to keep starting this thing up, testing this thing to see the same results versus getting this thing ready to shove into the car. So until the next time, hit the like button. Likes are free. Subscribe, notifications, that'll help us out. Stay tuned for the next installment on Mustchero, and hopefully we'll be driving this thing off of this lot, because our transmission will show itself to actually be functional when hooked up normally. So with that, I am gonna go inside. I will catch you later. I am out.